In this video, I will tell you how I managed to take girls home from bars and clubs. And starting with that, I immediately want to say that if it's the first time you watch this channel, I hope you understand I have the best intentions, because making a guide on how to take girls home from bars and clubs can immediately look like I'm trying to advocate guys from sleeping with as many women as they can, or that this is the only thing that I do in my life. So please allow me to clarify. I have a relationship right now with an awesome girl and I hope it lasts. I don't think chasing women is the only thing a guy should be doing with his life at all. I think in fact if that's the only thing that you're doing with your life, it's a bit immature. So on the other hand, I also believe that if a guy has no intimate options, then he can suffer. And so I've been following a lot of dating advice myself over the years, because this is a problem that I used to have when I was younger, and I really wanted to solve that area in my life where I would be in a position that I actually meet more women that I'm attracted to and actually could go on dates with them and find an awesome girlfriend. And so I know that it can be a struggle to do so. It might look ridiculous to some people, maybe some girls watching, whatever. It might be weird, like, oh, how can a guy struggle to get laid? But if you're a guy and you're not rich and famous, then I can imagine you can relate. And so, yeah, I hope you understand. I'm just trying my best to help guys who struggle with this problem. I try to keep it transparent, as honest as possible. And so bars and clubs happen to be places where a lot of people go out to meet sexual partners. And so when I used to go out to bars and clubs, never anything really happened because I didn't know what I was doing. And so over the years, I learned how I could flirt with women that I'm attracted to and how I could lead her home with me and sleep with her. Obviously, that's what I wanted. And in fact, I always wanted to have a girlfriend. And if after that night she would want to meet up again, then of course I would always be down for it. I never really understood the idea of, yes, I want her for tonight, but then not the day after. I mean, some people do this, but for me, I'm always open to actually get to know the person. But I started to understand that, again, bars and clubs are great places to meet women. And often when there is some alcohol involved, then, you know, people have flings and these things happen. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I hope you understand my intentions with this channel are right. I know in the dating advice that I've been consuming over the years, there was some questionable things going on ethics-wise. And I don't want to be one of these coaches. I want to be a person that I can proudly show this content to my kids and say, this is what I would advocate to my own sons. And this is what I believe will genuinely make the world a better place. So we can learn how to flirt with women in a friendly and charming way, hopefully. And so we can help them to get their needs met, and we can help ourselves get our needs met. And so with that said, if you're new to my channel, I just want to mention, if you wonder why you should take advice from me, here quickly are a couple pictures of girls that I used to date. I blurred out their faces to respect their privacy. I obviously am not, honestly, I'm not a big fan of showing those pictures, because I don't want to look like I collect them as trophies, or again, that I'm advocating that the guy should sleep with lots of women. I don't think that's the case at all. In fact, a lot of men, they go on a date once or twice with a woman, and they happen to find the woman, the mother of their children. So I don't think that's necessary. However, I can sit in front of a camera and claim that I know everything, but this is actual evidence that what I talk about in my content worked for me. Because in the end of the day, I'm just another guy on the internet, and I hope to build some trust with you, that I'm honest and I have the best intentions. And these intentions are to share the lessons that I learned along those years of figuring out how I can meet and attract women, because obviously I was not having the results that I wanted. And so, and I hope that if I deliver a valuable service and good information, that I can also get paid for it, because I'm not a millionaire yet. So I sell a course and I sell consulting services. You can find them on my website, robinbogus.com. But I also clarify this for you to know that I don't have a hidden agenda. And once again, I just want to build trust and honesty and genuinely do a good thing for the world. And so now that we got this out of the way, you might be thinking, Robin, okay, we get it. You're not a bad guy. But, you know, I understand this topic is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. And I care about my relationships, and I care about, you know, to some extent what people think of me. I think it's a primal instinct of not wanting to be abandoned from the tribe by being accused for doing unethical things. So voila, here we are. So now onto the juicy stuff. How can you actually pick up women in nightclubs First of all, let me set some expectations straight. You will not always be successful at going out and meeting someone and going home together. That's just part of the game. Some nights you will go home with someone and some nights you will not. I can obviously only share with you what has worked for me, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this video. But I always start with the mindset. The mindset is you go out with the intention to meet and connect with someone, but you understand that it's not in your control whether this person will like you or not. A lot of the time they will not like you, and it's about being okay with that and about committing to the long-term game of continuously improving yourself and meeting lots of women. And knowing that if you keep doing that, then eventually you will find an awesome partner, because that's what I always wanted. I always wanted to have a good relationship. And so, of course, I've dated few women in between to get there, and that was part of it. But my main motivation was always I want to have a great relationship. So when it comes to going out to bars and clubs, honestly, I never really liked it. I can see some people like it. For me personally, I preferred meeting women during the day because it's also easier to have an interaction, because in nightclubs, especially when the music is loud, you cannot really have a conversation. Everything is more like body language and eye contact. And yeah, once again, I will share everything on how I made things work for me. And so the nightclub environment was something that I had to learn to get used to and to enjoy, especially when I was going out a lot, like once or twice a week. I also didn't want to drink alcohol every time I went out, so a lot of the times I would go out sober, and it's pretty uncomfortable for me to be sober in a nightclub. So one good trick to immediately break that ice is to chat with people. It kind of warms you up socially. So if I would just stand there not really knowing what to do, sometimes the music is playing but it's not really my music, or I'm not in the mood to dance, it's all pretty stiff and awkward, then I would just, walk up to somebody and say, hey, how's your night going? And then they would be like, oh, are you celebrating anything tonight? Or where are you from? Or you need to be creative with getting the conversation going. And to some extent, it should also be natural, right? You don't always want to be in your head with what should I say next. You would hope that sometimes, or most of the time, the conversation kind of starts flowing naturally. This is also why in my content, I try to stay away from actually giving full-on sentences or scripts to say in order to attract a girl, because in the end, what you're trying to do then is engineer a plan to get into her pants, right? Instead of just putting yourself out there, accepting that you will naturally connect with some women and with others you won't, and that's fine. And so you're gonna have to learn to go out consistently, to be comfortable in the environments of bars and clubs, and ideally to not drink, because drinking twice a week is not gonna be good for your life probably. And so don't get me wrong, I drink sometimes, and I've had nights where I was pretty drunk as well, so I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect and that is black and white, but yeah, it's more about the consistency. If you're gonna drink once or twice every week, probably not gonna be too good for you. And so once you're over that, then you learn to go out once or twice a week. A good thing to do is to just get into the habit of talking with somebody, and then that should socially get you going a bit, and then that conversation ends, and then you strike up the next conversation, and maybe you dance a bit, and sometimes this creates a really fun atmosphere where you had a little chat with somebody, and then you bump into her later again, and then you say, oh, you're having fun tonight, and so you kind of create the effect that you're kind of just getting familiar with the environment and connecting with multiple people, just in a short, superficial way. Where it gets really good, I would say, in nightclubs and bars, is that things can escalate very fast. And if you are a healthy male with a healthy sex drive, then you're gonna want to have sex, obviously. And so things can escalate in bars and clubs very fast, whereas during the daytime, it obviously all goes a little bit slower. It's more normal to exchange contact details, meet up on a date again later. But from bars, it's pretty likely that you're gonna go home that same night if there is enough connection and chemistry. And so for me, how things usually went on the amount of times that I took somebody home from bar or club is that I just see her, and if it's the beginning of the night and I'm feeling quite stiff, so to speak, then I just socialize a bit and I dance a bit. But when it gets later and I get more confident, then I would be more direct. And one of the things that I do a lot is just to check for interest. And a good one to do that, I find, is just by sticking your hand out towards her. So if you see a woman that you're interested in, maybe you're both on the dance floor and you're kind of eyeing each other up, but you're not sure if she's actually looking at you, you know. So what you then can do is walk over and you make eye contact, and when she looks at you, or maybe you can tap her on the outside of the arm slightly to get her attention with the outside of your hand, and you tap her so you get her attention, and as she turns you stick out your hand and you don't say anything, you just hold eye contact. And if she likes you and she's in the mood to dance, then she will grab your hand, and all you have to do then is pulling her closer to you, and this is how things can sometimes escalate very fast. You would be surprised, especially if the evening is a bit later and when she's into you and she's attracted to you. It can literally go from sticking out your hand. If she grabs your hand, then you know that's a major green flag, that she likes you. She's basically saying that she wants to follow your lead, right? You're never forcing things, you're just suggesting. You open your hand, if she doesn't take it, you pull it back away and, you know, you take the rejection. Maybe you can still try and talk a bit and chat a bit. But if she's really not into you, she will make that clear with her body language and facial expressions, right? But so, if she likes you, she'll grab your hand and you can literally just pull her closer to you. And sometimes she can be so turned on by you leading her, because in my experience, women get turned on by a man who leads. You can pull her very close to you, you can put your arm around her waist, pull her even closer to you, lean forward and start kissing her. Just like within the minute of meeting her. It's crazy how fast these things can go. And that is mainly because it's late. She might be, you know, dancing all night already, she's turned on, maybe she wants to meet a guy that night, and you happen to be that guy that does it for her, that leads her, that makes her feel great, and you kiss her, and then you can literally kiss for like a minute or two and say, let's get out of here. And that has surprisingly happened a lot. When I was new to this, I did not know that things could go that fast, actually. Once it happened a couple times and that belief changed, then it started happening more and more. And so this was obviously during a time where I was single and I didn't mind having a one-night stand. But once again, I always wanted to have a relationship. Everybody's different what they want, you know, I don't judge as long as you don't hurt people's feelings, you don't lie or cheat. You're just a decent human being, you're not manipulating people, or you're not, you know, trying to take advantage of drunk women and so on, because that's obviously all pretty ethically incorrect and I do not encourage to do that. But yeah, if you're open for it, you know, it can be a lot of fun and a good way to get your intimate needs met. And so that is usually how my night goes. I'm just out and about, I'm talking with people, talking with my friends, checking the environment for women that I like, and if I like one, then I shoot my shot simply by building rapport and by seeing if she follows my lead. And you will get anything in between, from immediate rejection, where you stick your hand out and she's like, and she, you know, maybe walks away or turns away. Or she'll grab it, you pull her towards you and she'll love it, she'll dance with you or kiss her and it will be on between you guys. It can get very hot and heavy very fast. But it can also be in between. Maybe she's a bit more shy and she does like you, but she's not getting very close to you, right? Because remember, when I say you pull her close to you, you're still checking in if she's comfortable with it, right? You gently guide her towards you. And if she's very attracted to you and comfortable with you, she will move very close. But if she's a bit more shy, then she will take a bit more distance. And if you then keep trying to close the distance like an idiot, then she's going to be turned away from you very fast. You need to respect her, right? I believe it's all about leading her towards your fantasy while still keeping your finger on the pulse of how comfortable she is. If she's less comfortable, you back away. If she's more comfortable, you get closer, you build sexual tension, and you move things forward by escalating physically and by kissing her and so on. And that's all dating is. If you see a girl and you're very attracted to her and you really want to do certain things with her, then you just suggest that. You grab her, you express your interest, you say, hey, let's go to my place. And then there's a chance you get rejected, but there's a chance that she'll love it and that she will come with you. And then you just, again, in the bedroom, it comes down to the same. You just make suggestions. Hey, let's do this or let's do that. And if she likes you, once again, she'll follow your lead. It's really not rocket science. You know, I'm not trying to say, once again, that I'm perfect. You know, I've got a lot of experience now, but a lot of that, remember, is trial and error and falling on your face and getting rejected. And that's all part of it. And that's pretty much it. You can have anything in between as well. Sometimes, you know, I see a girl, I like her, I can tell that she likes me, I stick out my hand, pull her towards me, but she keeps a bit of distance, but she's still engaging and conversating with me. And then I can say, hey, do you maybe want to move to a more quiet area, a smoker's area? You sit down and you talk a bit. And from there, I'm always a fan to just let things naturally unfold. To not have a script in your head, but to just keep in your mind, you want to gently lead while keeping your finger, while keeping your finger of the pulse of whether she's following your lead and being comfortable or not. Right? That's the silver lining. You keep that in your mind, but at the same time, you just enjoy the process. Sometimes it can be amazing just to spend an evening with somebody and having a great connection and really talk about amazing topics. I've met some amazingly interesting women who had interesting jobs that I love to learn and hear about, or they had cool stories that were places they traveled to or hobbies they had. And it's not all about getting laid, right? I mean, again, it's a need that you have to meet, but it's optional. And I know that eventually, if I keep putting myself out there and if I keep consistently meeting the women that I'm attracted to, then as a result, you will get laid anyway. So it takes a bit away of that desperateness, that neediness, because that's going to work against you more than ever. And that's pretty much it. It's just, you know, it's about going out. Oh, siren's going off. It's about going out, expressing your interest, taking the rejections as they come and respecting them, and allowing the evening to unfold. But it's also very important that you take action, because if you're going to go out in the evening and you do not approach a single woman, you're not sticking your hand out towards any girls, or you're not starting any conversations, or you're not trying to flirt, then nothing's going to happen most likely, right? I mean, sometimes it happens that a girl is really into you and she will actually make that clear by coming to talk to you and so on. Of course, these things happen, and I'm sure many guys don't even, you know, watch my videos and they never really had problems with dating and stuff. But if you're watching my videos, you're probably not one of them. And once again, that's fine. I was there as well. But you're going to have to do things differently, which is going to be taking action. And that's going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to have to get over that. And my other videos will hopefully help you with that as well, on how to overcome approach anxiety and how to build the right habits. And so that's pretty much it. It's about going out, starting conversations, and leading and seeing if she follows your lead. You can lead with small things like, hey, do you want to go to the bar, get a drink? Or you maybe want to move to the smoker's area. It's a bit more quiet. We can talk. And then from there, you lead her on, like, oh, you know, how are you feeling? Have you been out long? Do you want to go to my place? Do you want to stay out a bit longer, whatever? But it's just about leading. And once again, if she likes you, she'll follow your lead. Because remember that women also go out with the intention a lot of the time to meet someone. Maybe not, you know, they're not really desperate, you know, or not as desperate as as a guy who hasn't been laid in a long time. And I know it can create this, you know, this desperate feeling, and you know, you're gonna have to try and get rid of it. And counterintuitively, the more you get your needs met, the less needy you are, the more you get laid as a result. So it's funny how that works. So when you're never getting laid, it's more likely that you will still not get laid. But then the more you get laid, as a result, you get laid even more. So, you know, it's kind of same with how the rich get richer. So women are generally less desperate. They go out for having fun with their friends. And if they meet somebody awesome, then that's great. But if they don't, then that's fine. But sometimes women are in a period where they really want to meet a guy as well. And then they absolutely love it when they meet a guy who is direct, who is willing to lead, who makes solid eye contact, right? Another tip that I can give you is that dancing works fantastic and you don't need to be good at it. I mean, I'm not a good dancer, but sometimes when you see a girl that you like, it can be very fun to just walk closer to her. And again, you don't always have to stick your hand out, but you can just play with that proximity, with the distance between you and her. And you can slowly move closer to her and closer and just dance closer to her. And then once again, if she does not want you close to her, she will step back. But if she likes it, she will stand there. And then you can get even closer and play with the sexual tension and move your lips very close to hers and then play away a bit and hold your hands around her waist and do like a stupid dance together. I'm telling you, when I dance, it probably looks funny. It doesn't look good at all, but women like that play. Because in the end, shouldn't that be what dating is? Like, isn't that what it should be? Dancing, having fun, flirting with each other. It should all be fun instead of stiff and overthinking and being in your head, right? So as soon as you get over the fact that you're scared to be rejected and scared to look stupid, then you can start to have fun with it. And this is where a lot of amazing stuff will happen. And yeah, that's pretty much the best advice I can give you on going out and meeting women. I know there is a bit more to it. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them on contact@robinbogaerts.com or just in the comment section. I'm also experimenting with music, and you will notice that some of my videos have relaxed lo-fi music in the background of them. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's annoying for the viewers, so if it is, please let me know in the comment section. If you prefer just to have me speaking without music, or if the music is better, I'd love to hear about it. If I forgot about it, I will most likely forgot about something. I will most likely cover it in my other content. And yeah, once again, if you're interested, check out my website. I got a course there with a 4-step plan, 4 milestones, or how you can handle your dating life forever and get your romantic and intimate needs met. Or if you want to work with me one-on-one, I offer a consulting package of 4 calls of 1 hour where we go in depth about certain questions that you have. And so thank you for watching. If you think there was anything valuable in this video, then please consider liking it or sharing it with the people that you think might be in need of it, might be useful for them. And thank you for watching.